I'm gonna make this very simple for you, Dan. Men should not play sports against women. I'm not gonna get into all the bullshit that's going on out here in the world today. If anybody thinks that, I think they're stupid. I'm not, like I say, I support the gay community 100%. I support the transgender community 100%. But I do not, under any circumstances, under zero, think that men should play sports against women. And if anybody have a problem with that, they're going to have to get over it, because I'm not going to change. I just think it's wrong, period.
Which are what? The science behind this, that men and women are different. And you can call yourself a woman, you can call yourself a cat, call yourself whatever you want, but the facts are what? Trans women are men. And the W in WNBA stands for women.
Before the game, you had a conversation with Sophie Cunningham.
I did.
If you want to share what you talked
Absolutely
about, feel free. But
Absolutely not.
more of my question is just how important is it to have those like in-person conversations with people that
I think it's
have
great.
different
Yeah.
views?
I think it's great. I think both of us understand that we have platforms, and we both talked about wanting to, more than anything, educate. And there are some things that
Charles Barkley just bypassed the corporate safety net, stepping right up to the inside the NBA microphone to validate Sophie Cunningham's stance on protecting women's sports from biological men competing. Delivering his viewpoint with total disregard for polished media filters, Barkley called out what he views as an obvious truth that television analysts are usually too timid to address. He noted that honesty shouldn't be penalized in modern athletics, urging commentators to stop walking on eggshells when discussing competitive fairness. Furthermore, his unscripted remarks instantly dominated sports headlines across every major digital network.
But I'm never going to think it's all right for men to play sports against women. I don't even think that's controversial. That's the thing that's funny. Like some of this stuff make, like when you see these debates on television, like, yeah, men shouldn't play sports against women. I'm done. I don't want to hear you try to explain it to me. No, I don't want to hear it. I'm not going to argue with you. Men shouldn't play sports against women. I'm done. There's a lot of we can argue over. That ain't one.
Everything traces back to an interview where Cunningham voiced a simple desire to keep competitive brackets separated by biological sex to protect young girls and female athletes. She hurled zero personal attacks and aimed at no specific individual, treating the topic as a straightforward policy opinion. Yet that measured response detonated a massive media firestorm, creating the exact backdrop Barkley stepped into. Critics and supporters alike immediately seized on the sound bites, turning a routine interview into a multi-week cultural debate.
You don't see trans men going and saying, I want to play football, I want to play basketball, I want to be... Why there's no trans men going into men's spaces? Why is it trans women that's going into women's spaces? Show me the last time a trans man was on a podium in any sport. Show me the last time a trans man won in cycling, cross country, football, they played on the team, volleyball team, track and field, 4x100 meter relay on track and field, steeplechase, name it. Show me a trans man that have been competitive. Show me one. Show me one.
The reaction to Cunningham quickly graduated from healthy sports debate into a targeted campaign. Road venues turned hostile, echoing with persistent boos every time she touched the ball, while the WNBA front office remained conspicuously silent. What looked initially like standard fan frustration evolved into an organized effort to penalize a player for voicing thoughts held privately across the league. This chilling effect left many players wondering where the boundary lies between free expression and institutional punishment.
Why the fuck are y'all booing Sophie Cunningham at every game now, man? This is what we doing to Sophie, trying to villainize this woman when all she did was, stand up?
The environment in Portland turned deafening every time Cunningham handled the ball, filling the broadcast audio with hostile jeers. Rather than backing down under the intense pressure, she handled it the way elite competitors always do, answering the crowd by sinking a clutch shot and letting the scoreboard do the talking. Her composure under fire earned the respect of veteran analysts who praised her mental toughness. Instead of letting the noise disrupt her game, she channeled the hostility into peak athletic performance.
All of the crazies out there are now protesting her at WNBA games. So much so that a coach from another team pulled Sophie aside to have a few words with her and just let her know what she had thought about what Sophie said. Guys, Sophie Cunningham is probably the most popular athlete in the WNBA. If she goes bye-bye, there is no more WNBA. Additionally, have you ever seen Sophie Cunningham play ball before? What on earth makes y'all think that she cares about a bunch of crybabies complaining about an 80-20 issue? Literally, no one wants men and women's sports. It is highly unpopular, and the only people that do want that are people who have likely never played sports before in their lives. So
The acoustic hostility in the stands is only part of the story, as opposing arenas have begun featuring banners explicitly designed to shame Cunningham for her comments. Security guards have had to intervene multiple times over clashes between opposing fans, marking a rare level of off-court volatility for a WNBA season. These escalating confrontations have forced arena management to tighten protocols and review spectator conduct policies. Consequently, games have taken on an intense atmosphere where security concerns threaten to overshadow the athletic competition itself.
Super respectful. We were just holding our signs and cheering for both teams. And this lady, older lady, comes up to us, and she comes up to us, and at first I think she's gonna be nice, and then she asks like, "What are you guys doing?" or something like that. And then it was like, "Jesus loves everyone." That's what she told us, and I was like, "Oh, I know. Like, I'm religious. Like, I know. Like, I know."
Nice.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, I hope Jesus can forgive you for what sin you've done," and like something like that. And then she told us that we were effing insane, and that we
And she's
needed
like,
to-
and she went like insane.
Yeah,
She's like, you better stop this
and stop pulling
shit.
this. Yeah,
And
for you guys
I
to
hope
come
God
here
can
and
save
pull
you.
this. Yeah,
She said, for you to come
yeah.
here and pull this shit.
Yeah.
She said the word.
Yeah.
Did she say effing insane or the fucking
No,
insane?
she said the word.
And
Yeah.
nobody around you spoke up for you. No.
No.
I will say, Annalie, when I came over, you were in tears.
Yeah, I've never been yelled at like that. I mean, I've had people hate on me on the internet, but like it doesn't really affect me as much because it's just people online.
The tension boiled over when Seattle Storm co-owner Celeste Caton berated two teenage girls sitting courtside simply for holding a peaceful sign thanking Cunningham for supporting girls' sports. Caton called their presence insane and told them they needed forgiveness, leaving a minor in tears before the night ended. Only after viral video sparked widespread outrage did the league step in with a fine and suspension, proving Barkley was reacting to a situation that had already harmed innocent fans. This alarming display of adult aggression toward young spectators drew universal condemnation from sports commentators nationwide.
Sophie Cunningham has said that males, biological males, do not belong in women's sport. That's it. That is the rational, sane, commonly shared stance. It's a safety issue. It's a fairness issue. It's not an anti-trans kids campaign, but this coach saying, "Oh, trans kids are well." This is what they do. The straw man argument. She is trying to say that Sophie is against trans kids and she's excluding them and this is evil. No! It's so dumb. It's so evil. It's so calculated. And this is how they silence people.
Barkley wrapped up his segment by looking straight at the camera and warning league officials that trying to punish a player for stating an honest opinion establishes a dangerous precedent for everyone involved. His unfiltered perspective broke the dam, prompting other prominent sports figures to speak out and driving an even bigger wedge between public sentiment and the WNBA's official stance. By drawing a hard line in defense of open dialogue, he fundamentally shifted the narrative surrounding player expression. Executives are now forced to reckon with the reality that silencing athletes will only generate greater resistance. As the dust begins to settle on this intense chapter, it becomes increasingly clear that the conversation sparked by Sophie Cunningham and amplified by icons like Charles Barkley touches on something far deeper than a routine sports headline. It strikes at the foundational philosophy of competitive fairness, organizational accountability, and the cultural boundaries of modern athletics. When sports leagues attempt to navigate ideological storms by remaining silent or selectively enforcing discipline, they often achieve the exact opposite effect, turning localized friction into national battlegrounds that alienate core supporters. The fallout from the Portland arenas to the courtside confrontation in Seattle reveals a concerning shift in how fan engagement and dissenting opinions are managed. Sports have historically served as a unifying cultural mirror, a space where passion can run high, but mutual respect for competitors, and especially for young fans, remains paramount. When executives step out of boardrooms to berate children over a peaceful sign thanking an athlete, the lines of professional conduct are severely blurred. The swift public backlash and subsequent league discipline against ownership figures prove that everyday sports enthusiasts are no longer willing to quietly accept institutional overreach. Furthermore, Charles Barkley's intervention highlights a vital pressure point in contemporary sports media: the growing disconnect between corporate PR management and the authentic perspectives of legendary athletes. For years, sports broadcasting has occasionally drifted towards sanitized commentary designed to appease all sides. Barkley's refusal to follow that script reminded the public why authentic voices still hold immense sway. By reframing the debate around the dangerous precedent of policing honest opinions, he shifted the dialogue from a polarizing culture war talking point into a fundamental discussion about freedom of expression within professional leagues. Looking forward, the WNBA and other major sports organizations face a defining test of leadership. The landscape of athletics is shifting rapidly, and league offices can no longer afford to treat grassroots fan sentiment or player conviction as mere nuisances to be managed behind closed doors. Whether this moment serves as a wake-up call for transparent, balanced governance or deepens the ideological trenches remains to be seen. What is certain, however, is that the voices of athletes who refuse to be silenced, paired with the unwavering support of fans in the stands, have forever altered the conversation. The ball is now firmly in the league's court to decide whether they will protect the integrity of competition and the safety of all fans, or continue to alienate the very audience that fuels their growth. Moving past this controversy will require leadership that respects both the athletes on the court and the fans in the seats, ensuring that basketball remains a unifying force rather than a fractured battleground.